100%. That's the return of AI16Z in the last week alone. Let's have a look whether or not this rally can go on. Let's see who's buying here, who's selling here. Let's analyze the on-chain data, the data most people are not considering. So today we are up 11%. This week we have doubled, and this month we have more than quadrupled. Now this is not the first video on AI16Z on this channel. I published a video 1.5 months ago, and pretty much nobody was interested in that video. So that's the performance here in blue. The average video is in gray. Another video followed, again, very little interest. And so that's the problem with YouTube, right? When you talk about a token that doesn't yet have a lot of investors, but it has a lot of growth potential, there aren't yet too many people that watch those videos. The videos that get a lot of traction are the ones that already have many investors, but where then the upside potential might be limited. Here, this was the price with the first video, 28 cents. And with the follow-up video, we were at 48 cents. Now we are at $1.31. But how much higher could we potentially go? Let's have a look. What we're seeing over here is the number of retail investors versus whale investors. And the way we make this distinction is by minimum holding thresholds. So we count the number of wallets that have at least X amount of tokens in their wallet. So on the left side, that's at least 1,000 tokens. So at the current price, that's $1,300 roughly. For the chart on the left, that's 10,000 tokens. For the chart on the right, that's 100,000 tokens. Now we see constant growth pretty much across the board. The fastest growth happens with small retail, but also the whales are not selling despite the price increasing very quickly. We can also see how, relatively speaking, the whales are accumulating more and more of the token supply. So the wallets that have at least $100,000 worth of the token now own almost 90% of the supply. In other words, what seems to be happening is organic growth. We see how the number of retail investors is growing, but at the same time, the whales buy up the supply even faster than that. It's not the number of whales that's going up faster, but the whales that hold the token tend to accumulate. They tend to dollar cost average fast into the token. That's why, relatively speaking, less and less of the supply is owned by the smaller retail wallets. Now, what exactly happened in the last month, where the price went up by more than 300%? Again, we see organic growth. The number of first-time traders here in purple on the left tends to grow every single day. The number of recurring traders as well, but there are days where there's even more first-time traders than recurring traders on a single day. So there's definitely increasing interest. Especially yesterday, we have seen a lot of token transactions. Now this is indicating something else. A lot of individual token transactions hints towards automated trading, potentially automated trading by the centralized exchanges. Have a look at the trading volume over time. It comes in waves because attention comes in waves. Yesterday was a massive wave. And what I find interesting is that the trading volume is not necessarily growing by the whales and large retail. So the ownership is growing, but not necessarily the trading volume. Again, another hint that the centralized exchanges might be buying up tokens for market making. Now, crypto as a whole is currently expanding very, very quickly. What we've got behind me is the stablecoin market cap. And this is a 3-year chart. So it starts in July 2021. And we peaked in the stablecoin market cap in April of 2022. Over here, what happened was the Terra Luna collapse. So this is when Anchor protocol went bust. This is when UST depegged. The market as a whole shrunk, money was flowing out of crypto, and this is also where FTX collapsed. And then we saw the turnaround in October of last year. Now money is flowing into crypto again, and that's recently accelerating. The stablecoin market cap going up means, of course, that money is flowing from fiat into crypto, and that, of course, means that prices across all of the crypto space should continue to rise. I really like this chart because it has very little volatility. We can see the trend very clearly. In the short term, though, we might be slightly heated. What we've got over here is again a stablecoin market cap chart, but this time that's not in US dollars. This time it's relative to the entire crypto market. So you might have heard of the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? How much of all of crypto is currently in Bitcoin? That's, by the way, currently at roughly 60%. It tends to peak at around 70%. What we see over here is the stablecoin dominance. So how much of all of crypto is currently in the stablecoins? And there is a strong inverse correlation between this and crypto prices. So when the stablecoin dominance is high, crypto prices are low. And when the stablecoin dominance is low, crypto prices are high. And we seem like, at least temporarily, to hit some potential floor here, which might mean that some cryptocurrencies might see local tops. That being said, especially in the last few days, we do see how the altcoins tend to outperform the rest of crypto. So this is the others dominance. So this is the cryptocurrency market cap that's not in the top 10. And this did go up since beginning of November to today by 23%. It appears as if there is some kind of altcoin rotation happening. At least we see the beginnings of it. And so what was the best performer across all of the altcoins in the last week? It's Virtual Protocol. Virtual is a launchpad of AI agents on the base chain, and it almost tripled in the last week. This is the long-term chart, very impressive. And the big question is, how can we buy something like Virtual when it's not up there, but when it's somewhere down here? My answer to this question is wallet tracking. It's trying to figure out what are other smart investors doing? What are insiders doing? What are people doing that move prices? What are people doing that tended to make the right calls in the past? And so it's always nice to see what is the smart money doing, what is the not so smart money doing. For example, this over here. This is an alert that BitBoy Crypto sold virtual tokens at 1.4 cents. We don't have the alerts where he bought this, so maybe he got some allocation because he's an influencer, but he sold his allocation. He did this multiple times, by the way. And again, what he sold subsequently went up by more than 10,000%. And so yeah, BitBoy Crypto, in my opinion, is pretty much the Jim Cramer of crypto. It doesn't make sense to copy trade him, but it's interesting to see what he's doing. There are other people though that are worth copy trading. For example, over here, we've got Crypto Gains that bought the virtual token. That was at 5.8 cents. So since then, the price went up by 2,500%. Who is Crypto Gains? It's this influencer here. He tends to buy tokens relatively early, and he tends to also be very public about his purchases, which can generate, of course, a lot of attention and can bring in more investors, pushing up the price further. So he does very risky plays regularly. He's got 138,000 subscribers. And so how do we get these buy and sell signals? It's through finding the right wallets first and foremost, right? It's doing some on-chain analytics to figure out those wallets. And it's subsequently by putting those wallets in a wallet tracker and get notifications whenever they buy and sell. So over here, we've got the wallets by Crypto Gains that we are tracking. We've got 55 of his wallets. But then at a later point in time, we also see more people buying into the virtual token, the people that tend to deploy much more capital. For example, over here, we've got Kyle Chessy that bought $100,000 worth of the token, and that was at 48 cents. And so here is Kyle Chessy. He's got 137,000 subscribers. And since he bought, the price went up by 220%. We've got 12 of his wallets, and of course not every trade goes like this, but in general, right, I do believe it makes sense to follow the smart money. It is much better to follow the people that tend to make profit compared to simply just picking random tokens in a list. And so I like this approach that much that I made 8 dedicated tutorial videos just on this wallet tracking topic. They are over here. It's how to find various influencer wallets. It's how to track those influencers, and it's also about how to interpret the signals that we get from the tracking. It's all part of the premium membership of this channel that's down below, thebitcoinstrade.com. It's not just wallet tracking that we do, it's also risk mitigation, portfolio diversification, backtesting. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total in premium. Once we've got a signal, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. That's why we've got our dedicated chats for the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't learn anything, just message me within the first 7 days and I will refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. Now, does it make sense to buy AI16Z right now at the current prices? How much more upside potential is there? It seems like the market makers and the big whales are buying up the token. But let's say we get an announcement by, for example, Binance listing the token. How much higher could AI16Z go? Let's have a look at the Solana meme coin space. The largest token is Bonk with a market cap of 2.4 billion. AI16Z has already a market cap of 1.4 billion. So let's say the market stands still, or let's say we only look at outperformance and we ignore the general ups and downs of the market. A 2x from here would be a stretch. AI16Z would then become the largest of all the Solana meme coins. Is that possible? Yes, potentially. Is it likely? I'm not so sure. What I do think is likely though is that once we see an announcement of a centralized exchange listing the token again, that we will get another leg up. We might go up by 30%, maybe 40%. We're probably not going to 3x from here. But with a listing, we could see some more price appreciation. Now currently, most trading volume still happens on Radium. That's then followed by Gate.io and Qcoin and MEXC. And we do have perpetual futures trading volume as well by OKX and Gate.io. But again, let's say the token becomes available on Binance, we might see another 30-40% increase. But at that point in time, the air is probably going to get pretty thin. When Bitcoin doesn't go majorly above 100K, I don't see AI16Z going above $2. That's probably the ceiling. And so really, I believe most upside is again in the smaller tokens. It's in the tokens where people don't tend to watch YouTube videos of, right? But hopefully you're different. Hopefully you're watching the videos of tokens you have never seen before. Feel free to subscribe over here. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.